Today on the Riff, the team walks through head down, heart up, feet forward. It'll make sense. We hope today is helpful. Thanks for listening.
Riff Raff, we're back. Oh my word. We're gonna work today. We are making a commitment. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The commitment is we're gonna have this podcast in your brain in under an hour. I think it'll be under an hour. What we're going for is 20, 25 minutes.
Well, that's going to be tough because then we won't have time to riff.
We just have to jump straight into content.
And I was just going to riff the whole time. So
look at those shades.
My glasses.
He's about to fly planes.
These are aviators.
They are. Those are mine.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about, we were talking about this a little bit.
You can't pull those off.
I can't.
You can't.
I don't feel like I'm an aviator guy. I'm also not a truck guy, and I have one of those.
So you might be. You could just grow into it.
Honestly, don't put me in a box. Don't put me in a box. And if you put me in a box, then I'm out of it. And you messed up. But do you think you could land a plane
100%.
if you had to?
Absolutely.
Up in the air,
Yes.
pilot? Okay.
Any plane. Cessna, jet, whatever you got. Just give me the controls. I've got those glasses. I feel like if I were called up today.
Well,
and
you
they were
don't.
Like, well, I don't right now. If they said, Justin, we need you to fly.
Yeah.
Like those aviators that I wear.
I would be like, I'd say this, and I'd hand it over to you.
Yes. They give
and then
me,
you would put those on.
They give me the confidence.
He could land that plane.
Like right now.
I know he could.
Right now, I'd put these babies on and I'd say, give me the whatever it is you control. Joystick.
Controller.
Controllers.
Yeah.
And all the switches and gauges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure my altitude is right. Make sure that my barometer's good.
Yeah.
And then my wind speed and my tail speed, and then the tailwind.
Would you bring up the flux capacitor by chance?
100%.
Oh, did you watch it?
Did
The
you
movie
watch?
finally?
No, I didn't.
Marts.
I didn't. Sorry to disappoint.
I haven't either.
Okay, good.
Okay, so today we're what are we? We're going through something that Jen actually walked quite a few people through last week at Lead Ozarks. Lead Ozarks.
Hello.
Lead Ozarks.
That's what I call it.
Hello.
I like that. That's short.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure it's still recording. We're good. I had an issue with that, but it looks like we're good. So if you're hearing this,
We're good.
2 thumbs up. All right. Good deal. All right. So Jen,
Yeah.
walk us through would you call that modality? Is that what you would call what you walked us through? A modality? A frame of mind?
Framework.
A
I like
framework?
that. Mindset.
Mindset.
What's
It's like-
modality mean? Am I using that correctly? Like
Why don't you? We both know what it is, Jen. and I
You
do.
let us know. You define it
We
for
want to
us.
know if you know.
No, I do.
So-
A modality, like, is
Okay.
when,
Yeah, the brand. Yeah.
a modality.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
exactly that.
So if you're to take,
In the thing.
walk
and that.
us through what you talked about, Jen.
Well, it's just a
Yeah.
framework.
Yeah.
It's just a framework.
Yeah,
So,
modality.
okay.
keep
It
going,
might
keep
be.
going.
I think you might be right. I don't know.
He's gonna look it up.
He's going to look it up. It's like cellophane.
First thing, rule, I would just like for you to assume that I'm right. Just don't just anything I say.
bad.
Just
My
be
bad.
like, yeah.
My bad.
All right, walk us through it.
Okay. So it's this idea of how do we build momentum? How do we build patterns of success, right? And so I tend to look at things from the lens of if I can change my mindset, I can change the mechanics, the things that I do, and then I can adjust the outcome that I'm after. And so when I looked at
Oh man, I got it, you
Okay.
guys. I'm sorry. I
was not talking.
Listened to a word you have said.
Didn't say anything.
I'm so
You
sorry.
didn't even interrupt.
No,
no,
good,
that was
good.
it was just dead air, dead air waiting for you.
I'm sorry that the middle of Jen's sentence interrupted the beginning of yours.
Yeah,
I'm so
it's
sorry.
so rude of me. I'll be better
First
next
off,
time.
I accept your apology. I just want to let you all know that
Modality.
I was right.
What's the definition?
Modality is a particular method or procedure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had him read it because the last time he looked something up on his phone,
He
he
lied.
still said
No, this
cellophane
was
is cellophane.
right. As you were saying, Jen, I'm so sorry for interrupting. I really was listening.
It's okay,
I was just
it's
making
okay,
a
it's
joke so
okay.
people
Yeah.
would laugh.
They did. They laughed in their cars.
funny.
T.M. Thomas will probably text me after and
I
say,
like it.
that
I
joke
like
from
it.
Justin's was funny.
So funny. Oh my word. All right, as you were.
Okay. So I tend to think of things in patterns, right? So what I'm looking for, if I am trying to build momentum, or if I'm trying to get out of maybe a rut or a pattern, or I'm stuck in something, I tend to look at things and say, okay, there are 3 buckets that I could pull from, right? In any given season that I'm in. And so the first bucket is this idea of head down. Second bucket is heart up. Third bucket, feet forward. And so normally I draw it in a triangle. So I am drawing an imaginary triangle on the table in front of us. The base of the triangle, the foundation of that modality would be.
Well played.
Thanks.
Well played.
New word
Worked
today.
it in.
Yeah, this
I'm going to
is
use it
awesome.
12 times.
Awesome.
Not in the podcast because we only got 25 minutes. Okay. So the base of it, the head down, is cutting out the noise, doing the work that I know needs to be done in the order that I know how to do it. So work could be anything, right? Work could be your actual job. Work could be at home. What are the things that we know that we need to do? One of the things that I tend to look at is, what noise could I cut out, right? If I'm in a head down season, if I'm like, I need to accomplish something right now in this space, we have very little left in 2025, left in the year. And so when I look at holidays and I look at weekends and I look at things that are coming up that could be a distraction, the head down phase for me is, when do I have blocked time to do the most important work that I know that I need to do in the order that I know I need to do it? And how do I cut out that noise? How do I cut out things that might distract me, like social media, like news? It could be just simple, the scroll, right? Just distractions.
This was when you were talking through this, you brought up, is this when you brought up the 11 o'clock element as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So you talked about having your day set to where you're done by 11 with those things that you're really like focusing in on. And I made a joke about it. I'm like, oh, my day is done at 11. But what I did is actually got in my calendar after I made that joke and actually jumped in. I was like, okay, what am I doing before 11? And realized I'm like, I feel like I own my days, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday look like they're owning me right now. And it's true. Like when I look at the days that I have set up in a way that is exactly how you portrayed it when you talked about it, it's like, oh, I feel like I am actually controlling the controllables and getting the things done that I want to get done and need to get done.
It's the intentionality of the day, right? What's my intention for today? If these 3 things happen today, today's a win. There's a success pattern there. And what I have found is most people start their day checking emails or responding to text messages or pings or responding to phone calls from someone
I
else.
stretch.
You stretch.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I think the part of that is what happens when we're in a response mode. Our most important work gets pushed towards the end of the day. And then that most important work pushed towards the end of the day, then we don't do our best work, right? We're trying to shove it in before we go pick up kids or before we make dinner or before we do these things, or we simply don't do it and it waits a whole nother day. And at that point, you're like, well, did I accomplish the things today that I needed to accomplish?
Yeah, it's not like a yoga stretch. It's like more of like a, like, you know, when you wake up and you're like, right? And then you do one of these.
It's a good
like,
one.
Like any popping?
Yeah.
I love
knees
that.
popping and
I love that.
I got the elbow pop. So I just wanted to make sure you weren't thinking, I just trying to be clear on that.
Clear is kind.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That is true.
You know what's funny? I have all these micro moments in my day where I just feel like I don't have enough time in between things to do actual work. And so I'll just fill it with like busy or noise or, you know, whatever that is. And even right the day you did this talk, my daughter started a new schedule. So now I take my daughter to school at 7 a.m. and then my son to school at 9 a.m. It's super convenient. And so I get 2 hours of like, what am I like? I guess I could have a really slow morning. Actually, that morning I was like, well, I don't have enough time to actually do work, so I'm gonna just scroll on social media, read news report. It's all the things that created a bunch of noise at the beginning of my day, and then I got to the end of my day and felt like I didn't do anything. But it came at such a great time because it like. the very first day that you have a brand new rhythm, it's asking that question too. When you move into a new house, it's like, well, this becomes my new rhythm. When you start a new job, this becomes your new rhythm. When you have a new schedule because of your kids' schooling, you now have a new rhythm. And what you do those first couple days are so crucial. And so just the past few days from hearing that, being able to cut out some of those things and saying, what can I do from this block to this block, or what would be the most helpful? It's just so in understanding too that like everything before 11 is super important. That's really changed my mindset on all things.
Well, and I think like when you're talking about those rhythms, right, or scrolling, many of us do that. What happens though is that we're actually then inputting at the beginning of our day anxiety, right? The faster we get into what I would in sales call dollar producing activities, but in a job setting, the faster you get into your most important tasks, actually your anxiety drops, right? Because you feel progress immediately. You're also not bringing in that idea of comparison, right? Comparison is a thief of joy. So when you look at social,
She's always said that.
I say it a lot.
That's like kind of one of our modalities.
That's one of our modalities. You've always said that.
I do.
Yeah.
So when you look at social media first thing in the morning, already you're setting yourself up for, well, gosh, this other person's doing this thing or this thing or this thing.
And by the way, you probably heard 1 billion podcasts that have told you that. And it doesn't, and for some reason it doesn't change. So one of the things I did on my phone was I've got all these shortcuts, and I just replaced the Facebook and TikTok shortcut for like, one is a book reading one. And like, then I'll click on it. So the other one doesn't work. Okay. So I'll just click on it multiple times during the day. I'm like, why didn't that? Oh yeah, I disconnected it. And then the other one is now every time I click on Facebook, it pops up Hoopla, my book reading. And I'm like, maybe I should just listen to my book. Okay. Because I'm like, well, I only have 10 minutes. But then 10 minutes of listening to a book is great versus 10 minutes of scrolling. And then, actually I have 5 more minutes. Okay. And now I just wasted all this time. So that's so good.
So good. The next one up, right? So we've got head down and we've got heart up. And so the idea behind heart up is this thought of, I do want to make an impact on people and I want to care for them well. And the people that I come into contact with each and every day, my goal is to leave them better than how I found them, right? And so when I was in sales, I would always make the joke of, I've never talked anybody into buying a house that they didn't want to buy. I've never sold a house that somebody didn't actually want me to list. And the thought behind it is the reason we get into things, right, into careers, the reason we get into small groups, the reason we get into community is because we love people. Right? Most of us choose something that we think this can make an impact, right? This is where my skill set lies. And what happens is sometimes when we're doing the work, we get so busy doing the work and having our head down that we forget every once in a while to look up and think, what is the impact that I'm making? How can I love people during this season?
It's good. What's the third one?
Feet forward. So next one is the idea is making the adjustments, right? Being coachable, being flexible, being fluid, understanding that what has always worked doesn't always work. And so this idea of feet forward is being in motion and being adaptable and being coachable. What I have found is this is where ego tends to show up for people. So if you are someone that is that looks at things and you're like, I mean, it's just better that way, or I've always done it that way, or those types of, you're unwilling to look at a different solution, right? We're willing to have the same problem over and over and over again without saying, wonder how we could fix that. I wonder how we could make that easier. The feet forward is the adaptability, right? When I am looking at how do I pattern success, how do I coach people, it is the ability for me to ask a question that changes the way that you might think about something, which in turn would change your actions, which in turn should change the result, right?
In my copious amounts of notes that I took from your talk, I loved the rock in the infield.
So good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So it's this idea of a coach being a rock in an infield. And so we're back to baseball. We did a whole kickball series. Now we're circling back
Honestly,
around.
It could work the same.
Yeah, it could be kickball.
Yeah, absolutely.
times 3, right? We did 2 kickballs. This is 3.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just saying it would be a bigger rock though.
Yeah.
It was going to be a kickball.
It would have to be.
It'd have to be because you're talking.
And the angle in which the ball was kicked would have to be very unique.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like down.
Especially if you're getting a bouncy, right? Like
slow baby bouncy.
Slow baby bouncy.
That's how I like it.
Like
right.
It's going to be.
And usually I'll kick mine up and like over people rather than down. Oh, yeah.
You go up?
I trust my leg way more than I trust your abilities to run and catch. Yeah, because I just think I could just kick it over your
I
head.
don't feel like you've ever seen my
Yep.
abilities run and catch.
We're about to find out.
Or fly a plane. We've also done that.
Depends on if you're wearing your glasses.
I'm confident
Depends.
in both, and probably not great at either. But I'll give it a go. I will.
Give it a whirl.
My legs are pretty deceptive. You would think I can't kick it that far? Oh, I can
But you
swing these
can.
bad boys.
It's like your
Yeah.
ping pong skills.
It's, yeah.
Kickball and
It's
ping
a
pong.
backhanded compliment when people say that you're deceptively athletic because that means you don't look athletic. And I get that a lot. But, I get over it. I put my head down. I
your
tune
heart
out the
up?
noise.
And then heart up.
And then my heart
feet
goes
forward.
up. And then then my
forward.
feet forward and I adapt.
Explain.
Okay.
Rocking the infield.
Rock in the infield is this idea of that I want to be a person that's like a rock in an infield. So if a ball comes out, and let's just use baseball instead of kickball, the baseball comes out and it is a grounder and it hits a rock, it changes the trajectory of where the ball was going to go, right? It changes the angle. And the thought behind the coach of mine that said this to me was, I want to be a rock in the infield for you. I can see the path that you're headed down. I can see the challenges you're about to face. And if I can be the rock in the infield where I can help change the trajectory, right? Put you on a different path, that's coaching. And so the analogy is just that. Like when we go into something, a conversation with someone, or we ask a question, or we, sometimes have to make a correction for somebody. It's being a rock in the infield where we're saying we want to help you adjust the activities, the attitude that you currently have in order to get the result that you want to get.
That's great.
Thanks.
I would say I want to be a rock in an infield.
Who are you going to be a rock in the infield for in the next week, do you think?
Probably Jamie, my wife.
She is definitely coaching your spouse.
That's
is
a
definitely-
really good
that's the
idea.
best way
It's
to go.
healthy.
She's never said she likes it when I coach her, but you can tell. Like there's something in her eyes.
Yeah.
That is like, this is
Feels like
helpful.
love.
Feels like love. Yeah. And she acts like she's not listening, right? But I know that that's just like a modality that she's using. That she's really like.
My son has the same thing.
Man.
I try to coach him in some different sports, and he's like, "Yeah, I already know." I'm like, "Oh, well, there's a reason I'm actually telling you. It's because you're not doing it." But he already knows. So I try to be a rock in the infield for him, but it doesn't seem like it's working.
I think the older they get, the more you're able to do those things.
Makes sense.
Or sometimes you're the rock in the infield and they're like, I'm still going to go that direction. But later they come back and they're like, hey, that advice that you gave would have been helpful.
Would have been great. That would have been great.
That would have been great. I wish I would have listened to it. Me too.
Yeah. So, there was also a quote from Gary Kelly. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Uh-huh.
Gary Keller. Yes. And walk me through. That was so good.
It was, I am hell-bent to change the world until I realize that I am not hell-bent to change myself. So think about that.
That's my whole 20s.
Gary has always said that.
and it's definitely Keller, not Kelly. So
Yeah, totally fine. It's like,
Both of them said it. Gary
all-
Kelly and Gary Kelly.
It's popular with two of them, all the Garys. Yeah, I think you look at that though, and you're like, we think to ourselves pretty often, I wish that could change. I wish that issue over there. I wish that thing could be different. I wish, and yet there's very little internal work that's done where we're like, how could I actually make an impact?
And you nailed it. You basically said, let me see your day, change your day, and I'll show you what your month's going to look like, right? I'll show you what yours is going to look like. And I think that is the hell-bent on seeing things change or being a change leader or all these things, but understanding that it starts with changing you. And that's hard.
Well, it is hard, but you think about it though, like you did say to me immediately to me afterwards, you're like, oh, this was so helpful because of this, the timing with Sloan.
Yeah.
The difference in you and I would say probably 95% of the other people that listen to it is no one else changed their calendar, right? You changed yours and you said, I'm going to make my adjustments on Monday.
Mine. I just looked.
Oh, okay, you will.
I just looked and realized, what Jen said is accurate. And then I put my phone away.
Well, and lost it.
And I could not find my phone today.
Found it.
We can be a rock in the infield for you. I think we have access to your calendar.
Yeah.
I think though, that's the thing though, is like looking at it and saying when we go into a situation when we're learning something or we hear something, the faster you can implement it, the more likely you are to actually have taken something away from that day instead of it just having been a waste of a day. So
It's good. Thanks for walking us through that.
Well, you're
Look at that.
welcome.
We are 20 minutes. Are you joking me right now?
There was no dilly-dally.
Is there like
we
a-
went straight in.
There were a few jokes about stretching.
I remember. That wasn't a joke. That was
those weren't jokes.
Oh,
That was.
I'm sorry, I laughed at you.
Two very serious moments that I was vulnerable in.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
I also learned what modality was.
So did I. Yeah. Even though I used the word. But you know what? You just
accurate.
got to step out sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? Just use some words that you don't know.
Fear of faith.
You've always said that too. All right. Listen, next week we're going to have a guest on, Austin Halp, longtime North Pointer, board member.
Oh.
And he's going to be giving us an update on the lead pastor search. So it'll be a great conversation with him. Can't wait for that. And then we'll probably do another one after that. And then a couple more after that. And then it'll be New Year's.
And then we'll do some more after that.
And we'll do some more after that, I guess. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Love it.
Yeah.
And John didn't even have his notebook today. I would like to point out no notebook.
I feel kind of like naked right now because I
No.
don't have my notebook, but
No,
it's
you
fine.
did great.
You
That
did.
was-
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, half the time I can't read my handwriting, so
It is
it's
very
just all
bad.
for show.
It's very
It's
bad.
all for
It's
show.
very bad. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not. All right, Jen, John, thanks. Riff, Raff, thanks for listening. Hope today was helpful, and we will catch you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Riff. We'll have a brand new episode every week, wherever you find podcasts.